Hello, my name is Michael McWilliams.
And I'm Anne Murray.
And I'm Shani Burnsgrove. We are students from the University of Southern Queensland, Fraser Coast campus. The issues we have selected for this assessment piece is fear of the unknown. We will be demonstrating fear of the unknown using 3 scenarios in a senior school environment. The 3 events are physical diversity. A new student to the school with a disability is dealing with negative interaction from an able-bodied student. Academic diversity. In this event, there are 3 different academic levels of achievement in one classroom. The issue of pre-exam stress and anxiety are raised. Diversity of sexuality. Inappropriate public display of affection is causing conflict in the classroom.
Austin 2011 used the following statement made by Haj 1994 as an example to highlight different perspectives of groups and the choices made regarding tolerance. There are some Australian citizens who are capable of terrorising other Australian citizens and getting away with it. We must not allow them to have this power. As teachers, we have a responsibility to ensure all students are treated equitably, not excluded or dominated over by others. It is our responsibility to create a sense of togetherness in all classrooms, regardless of physical, sexual or academic diversities. Physical diversity. Austin 2011 also states, tolerance invites the powerful not to exercise their power. All students need to treat each other equitably. Educators aspire to empower students to take on board the social ethics that will enable them to conduct themselves in a socially equitable manner at school and extend this attitude into a broader acceptance to all members of the community.
Academic diversity. Fear of failure is one of the greatest fears people have. Quote by Irina Nikitina, 2010. Students of all academic levels cope in their own unique way when facing fear of the unknown. A prime example of this is at exam time. Educators need to provide students with strategies to enable them to scaffold their workload into achievable chunks. This will provide the tools to overcome anxieties and stress at this difficult time. Diversity of sexuality. Dr. Andrew Hickey, 2011, cited work by Mayer and Ward, 2002. We want to foster educational settings that reflect and promote the shared and distinct understandings of people from varied backgrounds. This means different gender positions as well, gay and lesbians, as well as heterosexual pupils and teachers. End quote. A generic code of conduct should be adhered to by all students, no matter what their sexual preference. Students demonstrating inappropriate public displays of affection may feel targeted at school if these situations are not dealt with in a sensitive and discreet way.
Oh, far out. Can you just get out of my way?
Do you mind?
Hurry up. Far out.
Oh, hi ladies. Excuse me. I've just caught that snotty-nosed kid, harassing that poor new girl, Sandy I think her name is, the one in the wheelchair, telling her to get out of the way.
Oh,
no. Now, how can we deal with this?
Really? I thought Jenna would have had more empathy with Sandy. Doesn't Jenna's auntie have cerebral palsy? You would think she'd be a lot more sympathetic and help Sandy with her transition to the new school. I'm surprised.
Well, when I was at uni, we talked about the difference in diversity. Eric Erickson mentioned something about it. Hang on, I've got the book here somewhere.
Yeah. I remember learning about those stages. I think it's about the involves 14 to 24-year-olds, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's
Yeah, I've got it here somewhere.
What is it? Was it identity versus...
Yeah, identity versus role confusion.
Yeah, that's it.
Just in here, yeah. This is a stage that concerns dealing with the outer space, outer awareness with everyone else around you.
Oh, right, yeah. Confusion.
With appearance and confidence and all of that sort of stuff.
Actually, I've got an idea. Why don't you do an activity where Jenna and other classmates get to try out activities in a wheelchair. Ask Sandy and talk to Sandy first to make sure she's okay with it. We don't want to offend her. Get them to do some just straightforward, basic tasks like coming out to the front of the classroom, going to the water bubble, taking a message to the office perhaps. That might give them an opportunity to feel how Sandy has to go through her day.
Sounds like a good idea.
That sounds like it'll work, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Why don't we incorporate some of their activities into it as well, like the KWL?
Yeah.
Fragenheimer's got it here too, yeah.
Oh yeah, that's that. What you know,
Yeah.
what you
The-
are.
What you want to know?
Yep,
And what you've learned. That's the
it.
one.
Yep,
Yeah.
yep.
Yeah, we'll see how we go with that.
Great idea. Great
Okay.
idea.
Okay, I'll write a script for the tutorial activity and present it to them in the next 2 life studies classes.
Remember to go to the head of the senior department and ensure that if we need parental permission for the children to use the wheelchair. I'm not sure.
Yeah, let's keep ourselves covered.
Might as
You
well.
know what the hot will say. Oh, so how did it go, girls? Taking those notes to the office.
It was so much hard work. If it wasn't for Sandy, I'd still be stuck there. Hey Sandy, a bunch of us are working on our assignment tonight. Did you want to join?
Sure.
Okay, girls, you can come in now and prepare yourself for exam.
I better get an A this time or Dad's going to kill me.
Or whatever. I'll be happy just to pass, let alone get an A.
Oh, who cares? Johnny doesn't like smart chicks anyway.
Okay. Yeah, exam time. Don't you love it?
So stressful.
Oh, God. For us and the girls. I mean, you should have heard those girls. I mean, the different reactions that I get from those 3 girls.
Which girls?
Oh, you know, Katie, Ditzy I call her, and then of course there's Precious.
Oh yeah, I know exactly who you're
You
talking
know
about.
her? Yeah, right. Katie, she knows everything. As usual. Precious just doesn't care, as long as she looks good. And then there's poor Ditzy. Oh, goodness, was too stressed to even sit an exam, let alone pass one. What do? You know, how can I help them? How can you equalise that in the classroom?
Can you ask Katie to mentor Ditzy and Precious? Maybe that will help her to de-stress a little bit if you get her to be involved in the teaching process.
Yeah, perhaps if you get Katie in a toot group with the 3 girls, get her to help everyone along. It might help out.
Yeah, well, you know, Eric Erickson mentions that industry and inferiority. So Katie being a hard worker and, you know, Ditzy being inferior, perhaps they can draw on each other. And Katie has the industry to help with the other girls' inferiority.
Might be able to.
Do you think Katie's mature enough to cope while she's so stressed? Do you think that might make her more stressed if you get her involved?
Well, you could also incorporate Hen Salier's thoughts on eating well, exercising, you know, give them a printout or something, let them know what's going on.
Well, you know, Katie's already stressed. According to her dad has put a huge amount of stress on her to get an A+. I'll be able to help her to deal with the challenges by getting her to, you know, assist me. You're smart enough to be a teacher, I'll tell her. You can help me.
Yeah, definitely.
Hey, why don't you incorporate Betty Adcock? She's one of the lecturers from USQ. She helps run some stress management sessions with the Learning and Teaching Support Unit. She did a great exam stress chat a few weeks ago. Remember that program on lecture?
Yeah, right. I missed that one.
She even listed the 7 R's with stress management. Responsibility, reflection, relaxation, relationships, refueling, recreation and reward.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
Well, okay. We could put it in a printout together and try a couple of activities. And remember that educational kinesiologist that came through and did a talk on dealing with emotional
Oh yeah,
stress?
he was really good too.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
I'll
definitely.
teach them some of those techniques.
Yeah.
Great idea.
Okay, girls. Now you've been eating properly and drinking lots of water.
Yes, sir.
You had the printout of dealing with exam stress. You remember about de-stressing, deep breathing, chunk your questions into achievable ones first. And I found a really good technique is as you're doing your deep breathing, before you even start reading, is you hold your frontal eminence as your forehead like that. Nice deep breathing. That's good. I'm glad to see that. Okay, and girls, I've spoken to you about this non-productive behaviour before. Look, come on, Chloe, you move to the other side of the classroom without further interaction.
Oh, excuse me, we were just sitting there waiting for you.
Michael, I think we need to discuss your approach with dealing with Chloe and Mary's behaviour.
Oh no, you've had another phone call from the mother, didn't you?
Afraid so.
Oh, look, I'm just trying to keep these girls on task. I mean, you know, I'll leave them sitting there, fiddling, should I say. They'll get nothing done. Girl, you know, you should see them. They can't even go to the toilet on their own. It's just too much, you know.
Okay, Michael, let's just talk about this with a more mature and approachable manner. Whether you like it or not, whether you feel comfortable or not with your location of self, we need to ensure that people are not marginalised just because they have sexual diversities. The ethos of our school is to ensure that people with differences and diversities are not marginalised. Here, I brought this along with me. Recall what we know about Ward and Marr? We want to foster educational settings that reflect and promote the shared and distinct understandings of people from varied backgrounds. This means different gender positions as well, gay and lesbians, as well as heterosexual pupils and teachers. Think about Homi Bhabha's theory regarding third space.
Yeah.
We need to ensure we are inclusive of students with differences, and that means sexual diversity as well.
Oh, you know, I'm totally aware of Homi Bhabha's third space theory. And I believe that I live it, and I embrace it in my teaching style. He's a great theorist.
Michael, how about I contact the mother, we organise a meeting between the mother, the girls, the mothers actually, the girls, yourself and I, and we discuss their code of conduct and their behaviour from this point forward.
Yeah. That's a good idea. Let's give it our best shot. All of us together.
Alright, I'll be in contact with you when I've made the arrangements.
Okay. Thank you.
How's everything going?
Oh, yes. Working well. Really well.
Let's see.
Y'all. One tribe, y'all.